Enough talking, let's make something. I'm starting to cut these V-grooves here in my future tool holders, and I installed the cutting tool at 45 degrees. So one side of the cut will be formed by the 45 degrees of the tool slide, and the other side will be formed a bit like a form tool, the cutting edge instead. I made here some anti-bozo lines, which is of course not guaranteed that it will work, but it can always help. And I set the zero of the left and right movement here in the middle of my slot. So now we come at 0. I have a problem here. The bottom side of the clapper is touching my workpiece here. So, not good. I think I just found a very effective way to make really short videos. First of all, you install your camera and then check the light, check angles and all this. Start the machine and start cutting your workpiece. And of course, don't press the record button. However, I don't think you missed a lot. I cut just the other side, and because my tool was a bit too short that the clapper was touching this surface, I gave it a bit more stick out, and now it works. There is a tiny bit of wiggle in this one. Almost nothing. This side is the most used on the lathe. And here, no wiggle at all. The thing seems to fit in the 3 slots on both sides, so I think we're ready to cut 4 slices. While I was cutting the last one here, the blade stopped moving. The motor continues spinning, but the blade doesn't move anymore. So I'm taking off the cover to see what's happening in here. It looks very gypsy. Come on, blade. Why you stuck? I think I fixed it. To cut these both sides, now I have a difficult choice to make. Shaper or milling machine? Because this vise that now is mounted on the shaper is bigger than the one on the milling machine, I will do it right here. Because here I can install my 4 parts in one setup. Because this surface and this surface is not square yet with these 2 surfaces, I need my fixed jowl as a reference, which means my part has to be pulled this way. And I cannot use the bottom side, of course, as a resting point, as a reference surface. That will not work. So let's install here in the middle a pivot point, like this for example. So now if I tighten the vise, my parts can move. And officially they have all exactly the same width, because here, let's say width, because it used to be one part and parallel. But you never know. So let's install a piece of electric wire that will also serve as a pivot. Stroke length, cutting tool dialed in, cutting speed about 20 meters a minute, so it will be, I think, 80 strokes a minute. And let's do this. To cut the other side, of course, now I don't need this pivot system idea anymore. I just installed 2 parallels and I use the 3 square sides to reference, and a piece of paper for if there is maybe a little bit of difference in thickness. Let's all 4 sides are now finished and I'm ready to cut the groove where of course the tool will sit. And I will do it here on the milling machine because I feel like playing with my milling machine. If I see that it takes too long, I think I will do it on the shaper, but now I will do it here. I installed a 12mm 2-flute end mill in here, and because I think it's gonna be a bumpy road, I also installed my gain some rigidity thing here. So let's see what happens. I think it works very well, but I stopped because I wanted to point out something. The coolant you see here, I did put it in this machine 3 days ago. And I also added some disinfectant, I think you call it, a real overdose, so in theory it should be good. But I don't know if the camera picks it up, but the thing already turned grey. Now it doesn't smell too hard, of course the camera does not pick it up, but so there really is a problem of this machine with the bacteria. I think next stop will be cutting oil and no coolant anymore. That could work. It took some time to do it, but here they are. And number 4 is of course already in the vise, because I'm ready to drill and tap these holes for the studs here. When I presented this mini-series completely in the beginning a few weeks ago, I also talked about broken taps and censored adult language. Now, when I cleaned out the threads of this one, I broke this tap. And now that I'm working on the new ones, I broke this tap. And the little piece is still in here. So now I think it's time for the censored adult language. Here we go. I wasn't really mad. It was just a shit happens moment. So all I have to do is to stand up and walk again. Voila! The little piece of tap that was left in here, I managed to break it in maybe 1000 pieces. I don't know how much, I didn't count. And as you see now, it works. And in the meanwhile, I also invested in 2 brand new metric 10 taps. This set of 3 and this 1 machine tap. So back on track. Voila! All I need to make now is these adjusting rings for the height. I have here a piece of shaft and there are splines cut in. And I hope the thing will not be too hard to make something useful out of it. Future will tell. And yes, it is really hard. Let's find something else. I found this piece of rust here and the radius is a bit small to my liking, but for the moment it's all I have. So let's see if we can make something out of this. Oh, have to change insert because this one didn't survive. I switched inserts. This one comes from here and this one comes from here. So now I can use the other corners here. Let's see if it works. Nice. I drilled a 6mm hole all through my brand new little nut here to make it easier to tighten the counter nut. Because of course the knurl idea, you don't have enough power in your fingers to hold it well tightened. And now, with my Tommy bar system idea thing, piece of cake. I will stop this little project right here for the moment, because today is Friday. And Friday is also the day that this video comes out. And I didn't even finish the other three, so I made only one. But one day I will. But before we go, first, an important message. I received a fat bird this week and inside there were stickers from Model Engineering Adventures. So thank you very much for your stickers, and of course they will find a place on the cheap door, and as always, link in description.